Hi. In this video, we're going to be focusing on the unit drawings. And specifically for this video, we're going to show you how to create CAD unit drawings from REVIT. So we'll be focusing on producing units from REVIT via REVIT, and then producing units from the REVIT model in AutoCAD, and then the draw tags command, which you can draw either all the tags, the metal tag, or the glass tag. Okay, before we begin, let's go into our Vans HQ training folder, and then let's open up the unit key sheet. So we're going to pick out some units for you to run. So for this training, we're going to finish sheet 205, the units here. So let's produce out the units specifically for 12A for now, just to give you an idea how to draw the units. Okay, so units 129, 131, 143, 44, and 45. Okay, so with this exercise, you're going to have to open up REVIT model. So I already have mine open. If you need a little bit of time, you can pause the video here. So inside your REVIT model, in the TAKEOFF tab, you'll have this button right here that says Create Tag Drawings. So just click that. So it'll ask you where you want to save your files, basically your units. So you will want to always save it inside your takeoff, your units folder. So we're going to be drawing units 129, 131, 143, 44, and 45. And also, just a warning, if you haven't connected through VPN, please do so. And if you did, make sure you're connected to the S drive, the server drive. Okay, make sure that's linked, or else this function's not going to work. So hit OK. So I'm going to pause here because it might take a little bit. Okay, it's done. So you can go back to your training folder. Inside Takeoff, your units, you can see how it produced these CAD drawings for you. Okay, so you can kind of go ahead and just highlight all of them and then hit open. It's going to take a minute. Okay, so you can kind of see how it looks like generically before running a certain command, which produce all the other stuff. Right now it's just taglines and dimensions and detail bubbles and whatnot. So to give you an example of how to do it in CAD, let's go ahead and close all of these drawings. Cancel out this one. Okay, so let's go back to the folder and let's go ahead and delete these. So that takes care of how to produce the units from REVIT, right? So we're going to delete these. I'm going to show you how to. You can also do the same command inside your AutoCAD session. So inside your AutoCAD, you should see a Takeoff tab. So inside here, under General, you can see this drop down says Draw Tags, Metal, Glass, which I'll explain later. So you want to always do this one first, Create Tag Drawings. Same thing, save it inside the Units folder. So after I have deleted it, you'll notice that it's right here. It's still showing that it's not drawn. So select these. I'll show you later what I mean by you'll see it. It'll indicate that it's drawn after it's actually drawn the first time. Okay, so if you were to click that button again, Create Tag Drawing, same thing. If you scroll down to the units you have selected, so you see 129, it doesn't have that little icon on the right side of it. That means it's successfully drawn the unit, produced the unit out. So just cancel out here. So if you go over here inside your units folder, you'll have all the units produced. So now you know how to either do it in your REVIT model or inside CAD. So let's open one up to show you the other commands that you can do. So after you have successfully drawn the unit, if you don't want to redraw or delete it and recreate it for some odd reason, but you want to redraw the tags just to test something out, right? So there are commands in here where it says either draw tags, and then if you hit this one, it says, "I'll ask you, yes, delete existing metal and glass tag, draw new ones, or no, don't touch my tags." So you may wonder what taglines are. Just briefly, it's just these taglines. These are taglines in here. It's stored a bunch of information that's connected to your UD window, which I'll explain later, a little later. Okay, so this command allows us to draw both the glass and the metal tag. So you hit that, complete. Okay, now if you for some reason want to just redraw the metal tag, right, then you can hit this command. It will draw the metal tag. Okay, and then you already get the point. The glass tag just redraws the glass. And the reason why for this is, say for instance, sometimes we'll do a glass takeoff and we have to manually stretch a glass tag or something like that. And then when we do the fabrication drawings downstream, we don't want to redraw the glass tag because those are manually done for some odd reason. So we will sometimes want to just redraw the metal tag in itself. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why we kind of want to have the ability to separate them out. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how we turn our unit that we got from REVIT and actually turn it into a BIM model with 3D parts and whatnot using the taglines running this command called UPD. So that will be coming up next. So like I said just now, we're going to run this command called UPD. It just stands for Update Database. At least that's what I think it stands for. So you may have noticed this, you probably would have this pop up too. So let's just read it out. MM prefixes, new parts detected without the default assigned prefixes, use MM as the prefix for these parts. So you can say, if you want to choose yes, the prefix going to assign to is going to be MM. If you choose no, you're going to assign a certain prefix. So just to show you guys what I mean, let's just do no. So enter a prefix for part G-369. So G-369 is just a gasket. You can either assign MM to it or, just call it however you guys want it. I'm just going to call it GKT maybe for fun, but you can call it however you want. Perfect. Okay. So after you have successfully UPD, you'll notice that there's a bunch of text that came out. So these are what we call mark numbers, right? So you can go into model space to check these out. So TM for model space. So you can kind of see here how you have this nice little extruded BIM model, right? So if you take the conceptual, or change it to realistic, you're going to see the frames. So I like to do VPP. So there are actually 3 commands or some commands that will help you out in viewing the BIM model. Okay, so the first one I just typed out is VPP. All right, VPP brings you to the face of the unit, so basically staring at elevation. So the front. Okay, VPF stares at the unit from the bottom. Okay, remember it's at the bottom, not the top. Okay. VPE is staring it from the side. Okay, you can kind of see the horizontal profiles still in the head. VPI brings it to an isometric view. Okay, so I usually like to work on DPP if I'm just moving stuff like mark numbers. So you can kind of see here, the mark numbers are in model space. You can move them so it doesn't really get in the way. Select them, hit the command M to move, and just move them out of place. Right. Also, there's also other commands where it can bring up taglines. So LMM would bring up the metal taglines and isolate those by itself. So whatever's on the metal layer, right, or layer state 1. In this case, it's all the metal mark numbers and then the metal tags. Okay. LMG brings in isolates only the glass tag as well as the glass mark number. LM1 brings everything back, all the extruded models, the bin model, and mark numbers and taglines and whatnot. LMS is another command that you probably won't see here. What it does is it brings up parts that are shop use. So normally when we have shop attached parts, meaning it's a part that gets attached to another main extrusion, like a horizontal or vertical, those parts are not going to be shown on the unit assembly because it's going to be attached on the fabrication stage. So again, the shop deals with 2 stages, during fabrication or assembly. So whatever you want the assemblers to deal with, you show the mark numbers here on the unit assembly drawing. Whatever you want the fabrication to start attaching stuff, you need to show it on the actual fab ticket. It'll become more clear down the line. Okay, now that we have successfully created our first bin model, let's go ahead and create the bin model for the rest of the units that you have drawn out. Okay, so basically that elevation. I'm going to pause here, and when we come back, we can open up all the units and check, or if you have any questions, you can ask in the meantime. All right, see you soon. Okay, and we're back. Okay, so by now you should have grand UPD on the remaining units of that elevation. I have already, so let me take a look really quickly. So I actually went ahead and just moved the mark number. So if you haven't done so, maybe you should do that right now. So this is a door unit, so this is a very good example of the command that I mentioned earlier, which is the LMS command. So if you go into model space, if you type in LMS, you see how it pops in these mark numbers, right? But then they're in like some construction layer or like some yellow color or something like that. So when you actually attach them during fabrication, when we do fabs, you'll see that these shop use parts are going to become green, which means it's successfully attached to something. So, to give you an idea, these are usually attached to our verticals. So, going more in depth later. So, see here, moved it, but it's still blocking. So let's go ahead and move that out more. Towards the right maybe. And you can kind of see how there's 2 mark numbers here, but we can correct that when we get into the next video. So right now it's just more important for you to run UPD on the units and then make sure you access, there's nothing really missing. Okay. Alright, so that said, you should have, again, finish our units, move our mark numbers. In the next video, we're going to show you how we use, the shop drawings to back check the bin model to make sure we got the correct parts there, as well as the right size, and also the glass as well. So basically, essentially just doing like a material takeoff check. Okay, so stay tuned.